Welcome to continuing coverage of ACC 12. I'm Dr. Randy Martin for CardioSource Video News. And you know, one of the more interesting programs in the ACC, and especially in this ACC 12, is the Fellows in Training program. And I'm pleased to be joined by two people that represent that. Dr. Justin Bachman. Justin's the chair of the Fellows in Training Committee. And Jeff Geske, who's also is going to represent, Jeff is at Mayo Clinic. You're at UT Southwestern, is that right? And
yes.
You're going to represent the Fellows in Training for the future. So Justin, let me begin with you. What are some of the highlights at ACC 12 for the Fellows in Training?
Yeah, well, thanks for having us, Dr. Martin. Fellow-related programming has been totally revamped this year. So with the help of Jeff and also some fellows from Duke, we have really a wide variety of programming, something for every fellow. So this year, starting today at around noon or so, we're having a forum entitled Finding the Right Fit in Developing a Career Plan. And so we've got people talking about the pros and cons of academic medicine versus private practice versus solo versus large group practices. We've got individuals talking about early career funding opportunities for academic physicians, and also people talking about social media in medicine and how to involve your patients in social media use.
I think it's fabulous. You're playing with your iPad here. You already see the age differential, but you know, this would have been fabulous when I was a fellow, when I think back about it. So Jeff, you represent all the Fellows in Training, okay? So you're going to be at this for this discussion.
That's an honor.
You're the next generation of cardiologists. So what do you see as the biggest challenges and opportunities for you as a cardiologist?
That's a great question. I think that sessions like ACC 12 really point out how much information there really is. You know, you can walk through the expo hall and see the continually evolving face of cardiology. You just flip through the even just the program here, and you can see all the different things that are coming about, new knowledge. And along with that, I think that presents fellows with a challenge. How do you digest all that?
Absolutely.
And so I think along with that challenge comes the opportunity. We can come up with tools to disseminate that knowledge, tools to digest it, and tools to distribute it amongst each other. And I think that's really what I see as the biggest challenge.
And you know, I think the thing that Justin mentioned, the way the practice has changed, the scope of modern medicine has changed dramatically, not only in information, but how you practice. And so I think that's fascinating. Justin, with the Fellows in Training program, how can they become involved in ACC leadership? What are some of the mechanisms?
Yeah, well, there are all sorts of ways. Involvement a lot of time will just start on the state level. Every state has an ACC chapter, and so individuals can get involved with their state chapters, be a fellow in training liaison at their state chapters. It's as easy as just contacting your state governor and seeing what's going on. In addition, on the national level, there are many different fellow committees. There's the Fellows in Training Committee, which I chair, which is a wonderful way to get involved. But there's also several other committees, Women in Cardiology Committee. All of these committees have fellow representatives. And excitingly this year, particularly with NCDR, the National Cardiovascular Data Registry, NCDR has chosen to appoint 2 fellows to the research and publication committees for each registry.
That's great.
So fellows are now getting involved with research and outcomes and quality improvement on the ground level.
So I hear the continuing word of become involved. I think that's really critical for the future of not only the society, but for the future of the practice.
Absolutely, and our profession.
Absolutely. So Jeff, let me ask you, you know, since Justin's walking around with his iPad, probably got an iPhone and all that, how do the Fellows in Training keep in touch during this meeting and then after the meeting?
Well, new this year, we've actually started a blog, the Fellows in Training blog. And the blog is a way for fellows from around the country to connect with one another. We have about 50 reporters, roving reporters, that fellows have signed up for these spots. They're walking around the conference, talking to people, doing interviews. Yesterday we interviewed Dr. Braunwald, Dr. Somerville after the Legend session, and we're generating these videos on the blog as sort of a live feed of the fellow take on the ACC 12 meeting. It can be found at cardiosource.org/FIT. Anyone can go view it, and it's up and running right now. And I think that not only does it help fellows connect here at the conference, people who aren't at the conference can see what's going on, and I'm hopeful that it'll develop as a web community that will persist beyond the conference as a way for fellows to communicate.
And it's up there all year, so people can do that. I mean, I think it's plus you're getting an experience at being media, which is a good experience, and that's it. So if you look down the future, where does the Fellow in Training Committee go? in this whole program? Where do you, if you had to look out 5 years, where's it going?
Well, I think in terms of our future, where fellows in training go, I think fellows in training have a long ways to go with advocacy work. With both academics, advocating for more NIH research funding, advocating for payment reform on the local and also the national level. And so fellows in training can get much more involved in things such as the legislative conference. Yeah. So I think that's one untapped area where we can make a significant difference.
Well, and again, I compliment the college and you guys for really, this is a critical thing. As I look back, many years ago when I finished my training, we really had no direction. And obviously the medias weren't there, but the whole concept of really involvement. So I'm excited for what you're doing, both on the committee and then after the ACC meeting. So thank you both for joining us. And
thank you for having us.
And we hope that you'll keep tuned because we're going to have a lot of good information coming from ACC 12. Thanks very much.